Hello, welcome to Tech Open Air 2014. I'm Courtney Boyd-Myers, and I'm here interviewing James Hilton, the Chief Creative Officer and co-founder of AKQA, which is a massive global agency. James, what brings you to Berlin?
Well, firstly, Tech Open Air. It's a huge honour to be asked to come and talk at something like this. I think these are just the sort of events that I think need to happen all over the world, especially in London. And it's a phenomenal event. It's kind of one of those hidden little gems that have grown over the years. But it's far more inspiring, I think, than the huge, like thousands of people organise conferences. Because this is kind of young startups that are hungry, that are keen, that are ambitious, and it's not. I haven't been at a conference for like ages. It's kind of like oftentimes I get asked to come and talk, and I come and talk, but then I have to leave because then I've got work to do elsewhere. Not that I'm not being arrogant or anything, but this is the first one where I'm kind of like, actually, let's just hang out for a bit because this is really good fun. And I'm really enjoying meeting all the new people and startups, and we've already got some brilliant contacts that we're going to take forward. So it's exciting. So that's what I'm doing in Berlin today.
And how long are you here for?
I'm going to go back to England tomorrow. I have some appointments at our Berlin office, which is doing really, really well.
And so you have an office in Berlin. Where else do you have offices?
Oh, geez. We have got Berlin, Paris, Amsterdam, London. Then we've got Washington, D.C., New York, Portland, Atlanta, San Francisco, Shanghai, Tokyo, Sao Paulo, and there's probably another that I've forgotten.
When did you start the agency?
We started 20 years ago.
Oh my God.
Well, just maybe, I know.
You don't look old enough to have a 20-year-old agency.
I started when I was 4. No, I am really old. 20 years ago, roughly, maybe 21. The cliche, we dropped out of college and started a company.
What does AKQA stand for?
Really, it's the initials of Jars, one of the founders, because that was his kind of nickname at college, because he's got a long, complicated name. And we liked it because it was established. It felt like an established agency. When we started out, we could have called ourselves all sorts of rubbish names, but we wanted something that sounded like we've been going for years,
right, and
something that we thought clients could trust, so it didn't look like a flash in the pan digital agency. And so AKQA fit the purpose because it didn't mean anything. And then a journalist long time ago wrote that it stood for all known questions answered. And we just that's exactly what it stands for.
That's pretty cool.
But it's really, AKQA just stands for our brand. It stands for the work. The moniker AKQA means nothing without the work and without the team. And we're only as good as our last piece of work. So
very true. And how do you define your brand versus all of the other agencies that are out there? What makes an AKQA project so uniquely yours?
I'm not all that interested in comparing ourselves to others, because I think the more time you spend looking at others, you're not looking at yourself. And from our point of view, AKQA is simply about the imaginative application of art and technology to create beautiful products and services for our clients.
And what's really exciting in that field right now at the intersection of art and tech?
What's really exciting?
Yeah, what have you seen?
Everything. Oh man, it's like, where do you start? The reason that we started doing this in the first place is because it always changes all the time, and there's no, it's not like you start doing TV and 20 years later you're still doing TV. It's like we work with technologies that didn't even exist 5 years ago. We work with technologies that didn't exist 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And so what's exciting is that I don't know what's coming next. What's exciting is that you can't see the future. There'll be an entire industry that we have no knowledge of in 5 years' time. That's exciting. And so, but I think what's the great things that are happening right now. obviously, 3D printing, the democratization of product design, putting product design into everyone's hands so everyone can become a creator maker. I think that's amazing. That brings with it a whole another realm of creativity and communication that clients and customers can have with each other. That on its own is mind-blowing.
And in terms of, you're sitting at the intersection of these two major fields, and something that I've noticed in London is that people are complaining a bit about a lot of the design and art talent going into the world of advertising and less into tech. Have you noticed that at all living in London?
I guess, but, I don't really look upon AKQA as an advertising agency. We've been called as such, but I think we can help redefine what that means. We're certainly not there to produce pollution that just infects people's lives and gets in the way of their enjoyment, which I think what a lot of advertising actually does. And I think even if there is talent that goes to advertising agencies, I'm not all that interested in that talent coming to AKQA anyway.
And so how do you...
Some guy from here's a bitchy story, but some guy from some MD from an ad agency in London, I was on a panel with him, and he tried to get a dig in on me, and he said, "Oh, Jay, yeah, we're always hiring people from AKQA." And I said, "Oh, that's really good, because I've never wanted to hire anyone from your agency." So it's like,
which agency was it?
I'm not going to tell you that.
Okay. So while you're here and you're I think Berlin does the sort of intersection of all these different industries really, really well, because it's just probably a smaller industry in terms of tech right now, Berlin versus London. So my question to you is, when you're at a conference like this and you're seeing startups that are really cool, how do you bring them into a project, or how do you just keep them as your contact? What is the interaction between AKQA and startups in general?
It's just like, if we see people that are interesting and are hungry, we'll just keep a relationship going with them, just like you would if you met somebody nice in a bar. You just keep the communication up. But the thing is, it's kind of like what we won't do is we won't see, oh, this is a cool technology, we should use it. It's kind of like, here is a real cool technology. Can we apply it in a relevant and appropriate manner to a problem that we're already trying to solve? Does it solve a problem for us? And I think a lot of the issues occur when people take technologies and apply them in inappropriate or irrelevant ways. So that's when you have a gimmick, not an innovation, right? Exactly. It feels completely forced. And there's a lot of amazing tech that is an answer looking for a question, and but the question can't be forced. You can't make the question fit the technology. The technology has to effortlessly and frictionlessly, so that when customers use it, they don't even notice the technology. It should just be like a no-brainer.
What do you think about all of the agencies that have spun out internal labs, like BBH Labs, Ogilvy Labs, and they're working on their own tech and startup projects?
That's nice.
But not something you guys are doing, or
it's like, it's part of our DNA. It's kind of like, we don't need to have another lab just to be innovative.
Excellent.
It's kind of like, what does that say about the rest of the business?
James, thank you so much for coming to Tech Open Air today.
You're very
sharing
welcome.
The story of your business and everything that's going on in your life right now. It was awesome. Thank you guys. Tech Open Air 2014.